Hello everyone, this is Madam Ladrisha Manda with another lesson of Humanities and Social Studies. Remember, we are in the third week of doing our online lessons, and this is lesson number 5 of our online lessons. So as I am starting my lesson, I would want you to to listen fully and pay much of your attention, since by the end of this lesson I would want you to know the different steps of the hydrologic cycle. Remember, in our previous lesson we discussed one step of the hydrological cycle, and today we are studying at step number 2. So let us look at the different steps of the hydrologic cycle by starting with the point number 2 as our next step. So the second step is the evapotranspiration. This makes up a large portion of the water in the planet's atmosphere due to the sheer surface area of the globe covered by flora. The majority of water in the atmosphere comes from lakes and oceans, around 90%. But in terms of land-based water, evapotranspiration is an important layer. Okay, that's it about the evapotranspiration. Now, step number 3 is about sublimation. As the process is called, results from when pressure and humidity are low, as noted in that picture that we are looking about, the hydrological cycle. It is not only liquid water that can evaporate to become water vapor, but ice and snow too. It is not only liquid water that cannot evaporate to become water vapor, but ice and snow as well. Due to lower air pressure, less energy is required to sublimate the ice into vapor. Other factors which can aid in sublimation are high winds and strong sunlight, which is why mountain ice is a prime candidate for sublimation, while ground ice sublimation is not so common. A good example of sublimation is dry ice, which emits a thick layer of water vapor due to its lower energy requirement. Still on the steps of hydrological cycle, let us look at step number 4, which is precipitation. In other words, we can call precipitation rainfall. It refers to vapor that cools to any temperature above freezing point, which is 0 degrees centigrade, that will condense, becoming droplets of liquid water. These droplets formed when the water vapor condenses around particles and other matter that rises up with the water during evaporation, giving a nucleus to the water droplet so that it can clump together. Once a number of these tiny particles-based droplets form, they collide and clump together as large droplets. At a certain point, the droplet will become big enough that its mass will be subject to the force of gravity at a rate faster than the force of the updraft in the air around it. At this point, the water falls into earth. Step number 5 is about snow or sleet. Oh, what is this? It refers to frozen water falling from the sky. Snow or sleet refers to the frozen water falling from the sky. When it is particularly cold or the air pressure is exceptionally low, these water droplets will crystallize before falling. This stage occurs when the conditions are not quite cold enough to keep the crystals frozen and the water either does not freeze fully, or if precipitation occurs in particularly cold conditions, or conditions in which the air pressure is very low, then these water droplets can quite often crystallize and freeze. This causes the water to fall as solid ice. None melts somewhat in the process. Step number 6 is about infiltration. All these steps, remember, we are taking them from the picture that I sent about the hydrological cycle. So there are steps taking place in that hydrological cycle. So that's what we are looking at now, the steps of hydrologic cycle. So this step is step number 6, which is infiltration. This is water that doesn't evaporate after precipitation and falls into soil and other absorbent surfaces. The water moves throughout the soil, saturating it. So, good learners, this marks the end of our lesson for the day. It doesn't mean that we are done with the steps. The steps are so many that takes place in that hydrologic cycle. So in our next lesson, we shall finish all these steps. But for today, let us stop here. Stay home, stay safe, and remember to follow all the COVID-19 precautionary measures, as COVID-19 is real. Bye-bye for now. This has been Madam Latricia Manda. Stay home, stay safe.